Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and welcome to a special edition video showing the fastest untestable vehicles in GTA Online around a circuit. After this video, I will have tested every single vehicle in the entire game, so if you do want to know how all vehicles perform in a variety of different classes and formats, check the annotation on the screen or the link in the description for the full playlist of videos, and of course feel free to subscribe for future updates. So this is it, this is the video that will get us to the point of having tested every single vehicle in the entire game, and we're starting with the two submarines. I don't think anybody would have expected these to be all that quick. They do get over 4-minute lap times, which is very, very slow, but they aren't necessarily the slowest vehicles in the entire game. That still goes to the dozer and the lawnmower, but they are certainly the slowest in the boat class. Now, I could go into a lot of detail about how I've been able to test these. It doesn't really make any difference, you know. Basically, all you need to know is that you can't access these normally in GTA Online. You can't access them in races normally. All of the vehicles here aren't upgraded. Most of them aren't even possible to be upgraded. But I needed to do this to really just get the final vehicles done. You know, there was always those little extras that I hadn't done, you know, a few of these boats that I'd never been able to test because you just can't do it. A few of the planes that I couldn't test, you know, just not possible to get them in a race. I was able to test a lot of the land vehicles, the cars and bikes and stuff that you aren't able to test normally in the previous video, the fastest rare vehicles video, but I was never able to do these because it just wasn't possible. But all you really need to know is that the lap times are all accurate, and yeah, I've been able to do it with a bit of help from a few friends. I've been able to do it, but ultimately you won't be able to access these in regular gameplay, in a regular race or anything like that. So what we've just seen are basically the first 4 boats. Now, it's pretty standard that boats are always slower than everything else, so it makes very good sense that we've seen all the boats first. We had the 2 submarines, then we had the Marquis and the Police Predator. Now the Police Predator, with its 2 minutes 3 lap time, isn't very quick at all for a boat, and it's certainly not very high up there in the boats category, and it only beats one of the boats that we've already tested so far. So not really a great showing from the boats that we've seen in this video. None of them are troubling the top spots in that class, but it's good to finally get everything done, and it was certainly interesting to be taking the Marquis around a track to finally get a lap time for it. Now the 2 blimps that we're seeing here, they are technically in the planes class, but they are certainly the slowest planes in the entire game. 1 minute 52 lap times. They're almost exactly the same as well in terms of stats. You know, there's not a lot to choose between them, and they're not very quick. Now, we've got one leftover vehicle that is actually a car, and that is the Police Road Cruiser. So this gets a lap time of 1 minute 20.7, which puts it into the 8th place in the emergency vehicles class. Again, this isn't fully upgraded or anything like that because it's not possible to do. This is from the prologue of the game, you know, all of those snow vehicles. And the only reason that I've tested this is because it is actually a unique vehicle in the game. All of the other vehicles that you see in the prologue, all of the other snow vehicles, are exactly the same as their regular counterparts. So the Police Rancher, for example, in the prologue is exactly the same as the Rancher XL, and the same goes for all of the other snow vehicles. This isn't. This is actually a unique vehicle, and it's based off the Esperanto from GTA 4, and yeah, it is completely unique. There is no vehicle that's exactly the same as this, so that's why I've tested it. Ultimately, it's not too bad with that lap time that it gets, and it's interesting to have sort of had one slip through the net, if you like, and it's good to finally now test it. So onto the top 5, and this is where it gets sort of to the quicker lap times, as you might imagine, with the helicopters and the planes. This is the last helicopter that we needed to test, the Skylift. This was the only one that wasn't possible to test. The 1 minute 13 lap time that it gets is only about a second quicker than the Cargo Bob, which isn't very quick at all, you know. For helicopters, this is very, very slow. It's only the 10th best helicopter in the game, and what we're seeing is pretty much a standard trend with all of the vehicles in this video, that they are sort of the lower end of each of their respective classes. All of the boats were at the end of their classes. The helicopter was very near the end as well, and all of the planes, as you're seeing here, are closer to the back end of their classes as well. So the Titan is very big, very bulky, as you might expect, very difficult to get around the circuit, but it did manage to do it. 17th in planes though, 1 minute 4 isn't very quick for a plane, but yeah, not too bad. It's on the pace of some of the top sports cars at least. So now, top 3, and this is where I had to get a little bit inventive, because basically the next 2 vehicles that you're going to see are the jet and the cargo plane, and it's not possible to get those around this circuit. They are just far too big, and if you thought the Titan was big, they are nothing compared to the jet and the cargo plane. And I've actually put up a video on my second channel showing a size comparison between them, because they are just huge and it's just not possible to get them around this relatively tight circuit. So I had to get a little bit inventive, and what I did is basically took them in a straight line and compared them with a Miljet in a straight line. The Miljet was the closest thing really to these vehicles that actually made it around the track. So I compared them in a straight line to the Miljet, and then extrapolated from there the sort of lap time that they would get. So the lap times for the cargo plane and the jet are kind of more indicators of overall performance rather than actual lap times, because otherwise they would have just been DNFs basically, otherwise, because there was just no way to get them around the circuit. As you'll see, they're just too big, they're too bulky, you just cannot get them around the track. So they are more indicators of performance than they are actual fully fledged lap times, but they are reasonably accurate to that as well. So yeah, interesting to finally see how quick they are, but ultimately they are near the back end of the plane's class. Now, in first place for this video is of course the Dodo. This gets a lap time of 56.8, so a little bit quicker than what we've just seen from the second and third placed vehicles, and it's still not that quick for a plane. You know, it is only 14th best in the planes class. It similar to the way the Police Predator only beat one boat that we'd already tested, the Dodo only beats one plane that we'd already tested as well. So pretty much all of the vehicles here weren't anything special in terms of lap time anyway. It wouldn't have made that much difference if I hadn't have tested them and got a lap time for them, but it feels great to finally have done that and finally have tested every single vehicle in the entire game, all of the boats, all of the planes, all of the helicopters, all of the cars, all of the bikes, even those that you can't normally access. They now all have a lap time, and their performance is noted down. So it feels, it satisfies my OCD, if you like, that I've been able to do this. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing these pretty special vehicles, these pretty interesting vehicles that wouldn't normally have been able to be tested. Let me know all your thoughts down below. I really do appreciate your support on these videos as always. Obviously, I will continue this series with doing all of the updates as and when they come. But obviously, now that we've tested every single vehicle in the game, the spreadsheet is now fully complete with all of the lap times, and that just feels fantastic. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. The top speeds will be coming out soon as well, so I'll continue the top speed testing as well. I really do appreciate your support, as I mentioned. Leave all your thoughts down below about all of these vehicles. Thank you guys for watching so much, and I'll see you next time.